All right, so today I am with Expedition Drenched. You guys, why don't you introduce yourselves? And so you're pretty different than the rest of the YouTube channels. You're kind of more of a philanthropic, giving back type stuff. Well, introduce yourselves and kind of explain what you guys do.
Yeah, beautiful. My name's Nate, Expedition Drenched. I've been doing this about 6 years on our own vessels.
My name's Amy. I've been on board for like 5 years.
Oh, wow, that long, okay.
Yeah, and just love exploring underwater.
Yeah.
So, now you have one boat or two? What are you doing now?
We have 2 boats.
Okay.
And they're big steel 75-foot expedition boats.
Right.
And I think we're a little bit different in the regard that we sometimes will have 12 people per boat on board. Yeah. So we're like a floating community of 24 at times.
Are you all, are the boats going around together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tie up all the time.
Yeah. That's gotta be a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It's probably, it's got a lot to manage though, like personalities and stuff. You get 24 people like in close quarters.
It is.
It's a lot of emotions.
Is it?
It's a lot of emotions.
How do you get the crew for that, and how do you keep everybody sane?
Well, we on each boat we have about 4 people that know what they're doing: a captain, an engineer, 2 content creators, and then 8 that kind of come and go. But we have longer trips. They're a month to 6 weeks. Okay. So these are not little charters where people come on for a vacation. Everybody's got cooking shifts.
Everybody's working.
Everybody's working.
Everybody's got night shifts. They're learning how to sail and scuba dive. And as far as personality management, we go through a pretty hefty process we don't just book your place and here you go, here's your bed. We have long conversations prior, video chats.
Yeah.
And usually the question I ask most is have you ever stayed in a hostel?
Okay.
Yeah. Are you used to being in the presence of many people and because once you're on board, you're there.
Yeah. And so, what is your basic mission then? It's a conservancy, or what exploration? It's a nonprofit, right?
Yeah, we are a U.S. Marine educational nonprofit, which means that every single episode, I try to sneakily inspire people to have stoke for the ocean.
Right.
So whether that be something that we found, discovered, or just honestly just normal dives and showing how amazing that can be. And we do our best to, when we find conservation missions in an area, or maybe another nonprofit or an organization, that we highlight their work as well.
Yeah.
We just did a lot of that in Indonesia. There was a shark rewilding program that we interviewed and showed their work.
Is it like reintroducing injured sharks or something?
No, reintroducing leopard sharks.
Okay.
So taking leopard shark eggs from other parts of the world, because the leopard shark population had been completely decimated in Indonesia, especially in Raja Ampat.
Okay.
So taking those eggs, birthing them, allowing them to get to about a year old, or a certain size and health. If they make it to a year and they're not healthy enough, they don't get to go out. And then reintroducing them into the ecosystem.
Wow. How'd you get involved with them?
When we come into an area, we just try to look up who's cool, who's doing what, who's doing what in this area.
Reach out to them, ask them if they want to collaborate on us telling their story.
Yeah.
So you're one of the founders of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you found it? How did it come about?
Oh, how did I fall into this, right? Yeah. How did we all fall into this?
It's never one thing.
I don't think it's ever like a planned thing.
Right.
For myself, I used to crew on other people's boats, and I'm happy to say that other YouTubers inspired me along my path. I crewed initially on Rick Moore.
Okay.
Sailing Sophisticated Ladies.
Yeah.
So you old YouTube watcher people.
He's one of the OGs.
Yeah. He shows you how to fix up your boat and electronics. And then we crewed on Delos for a little while.
Oh, did you? Okay.
5 months with them. And I'm going to give a shout out to the boys that Brian and Brady really showed me how to sail.
Right.
Like Rick might have introduced me to YouTube and this whole new world, but Delos really let me have the reins and run with it. They're like, here's how you chart a course. Here's how you navigate on a map, which was, when I came out of Delos, I felt really inspired that I can do this. Had a small 2-week stint with Le Vagabond in their early days, when they had just gotten their Outremer. And so I think through the inspiration of these other channels, being like, wow, what a crazy way of life that people are living. And at the time, I was just I would say a scuba YouTube channel. I would travel around the world doing scuba videos, which I don't know if you've ever flown with a lot of camera gear.
Oh, it's so hard, yeah.
Drones, and now add scuba gear into the mix, what a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
So even though sailing is a slow, sometimes painfully slow endeavor, I love that the floating studio is like right there with me.
Yeah, so bringing everything with you. And yourself, so you've been there 5 years, so how
Yeah.
did you fall into this?
During COVID, I just wanted to get out and be outside still and not live in the Matrix cage.
Right.
So yeah, I reached out and was like, can I run away
Yeah.
with you guys to the sailing circus?
Well,
And it worked.
So how do you find most of your crew? I mean, like that. I've always struggled with that, getting a good solid crew on there.
Yeah, through social media of always. Instagram's a big help, so follow us on there because that's usually when we put a call out. There's some new tools. Sea People is an amazing new tool that you can scroll around on the map, look at boats that are looking for people to crew, just kind of seeing what's out there. Find a Crew is a good website. That's how I found my first boat. That's how me and Rick got connected.
Okay.
So I still recommend it. That's going to be probably if you've got a little bit more experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you're almost looking at almost semi-professional crew at that point.
Yeah.
But then there's Facebook pages, crew hitchhiking.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Stuff like that. Every now and again, someone will pop up on that. That looks pretty like awesome.
Yeah.
People put their where I want to be, what I want to do, and that pops up too.
I would say crew referrals. The amount of crew that we get from past crew is probably about half of them.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So, which is
Crew
a good
will
sign.
come back.
Yeah.
Crew are like, okay, I went to land for 6 months and can I
You're
come home now?
I'm done.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
I mean, so what is the average stint for a crew member?
At least a month to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But we've had almost entire crews that stayed on for. We've had entire crews that almost stayed on for 3 months at a time.
Really,
And by that time, you're family. Yeah. We're a little floating family. Every time that we have a crew change, because everybody departs together, you feel like your whole family's moving out and a whole new family's moving in. It can be emotionally jarring at times.
So are you guys based in any particular spot? You just cruising full time or what?
Well, at the moment, we're in the Philippines. We're actually in Borneo, the very north end of Malaysia, heading back into the Philippines. We've been doing some reworking on the boats, refitting. We're actually making our boats Australia commercial boats.
They're pretty strict on that, right?
Very.
So you have to do a lot of the.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because they won't even let you leave without the inspections and all that. So
Yeah, we're
It's
adding
gonna be a headache.
bulkheads in where we didn't have some before, fire suppression, new electrical. But yeah, it's for a big filming mission that we have in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah. During Australia, I happened to have sailed in there from Solomon Islands when COVID broke out. We circumnavigated Australia, and in that time, it's become home.
Yeah.
Like, I love it there. And this is my first time to the U.S. in 6 years.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
So it's for me, from an ocean filmmaking perspective, there's just so many odd, interesting, unique animals down there. And yeah, I meet a lot of sailors, and I'm like I'm always like underwater or we're at the next place. For me, the boat takes me to my next dive destination.
So about the creative process on it, when you're making your videos, I mean, you might have an idea of what you can do. I mean, like for me, I just grab a camera and I mean, we have an outline of what we're gonna do that day. We're gonna go dive or we're gonna go explore this, but like nothing scripted, we're just doing it. I mean, is it kind of like, we're just documenting what we're doing that day, or is there more of a filmmaking process in it?
We try to plan a little bit beforehand.
Okay.
Especially if we're looking for a certain animal, we'll stay in that spot until hopefully we succeed. So it's a little bit hard to say what we're doing, but we'll try and always accomplish our mission. Obviously, it's the ocean, it's nature. You get what you get, and you get to be grateful for whatever that is. But we do our best to try and get the outcome in terms of the story that we want to tell. Yeah.
I think we'll have a goal. Like we want to film this thing, whether or not this thing allows us to film it.
Yeah.
But also, it's the things that you don't plan on that are interesting, right?
True. Oh, that's some of the best stuff when you're trying to make content that's entertaining to people. Is you're not planning for that to happen, but it's pretty amazing. So.
And I think our content, for lack of a better word, strategy has shifted a little bit. We now more care about the ultimate message, and we don't want to just be promoting a lifestyle but not doing anything to care for the place that we're trying to promote. So our focus now is more on marine education, marine conservation, because we don't want to be floating around on a dead ocean. Mm-hmm. So we want to do our bit and do what we can to help her out too.
Have you guys, speaking of conservation and all that, have you noticed, with climate change and all that, have you noticed a difference in the past 6 years you've been doing this?
Huge.
As far as reefs and everything?
Huge.
I wish I could put rose-colored sunglasses on and tell everybody, hey, everything's fine. But Raja Ampat is known to be one of the last frontiers of diving. It's supposed to be pristine, off the map area, and they just went through one of the worst coral bleachings they've ever had.
Yeah.
And not to mention the absolute huge mounds of trash that are floating on every single surface, on every single beach there.
Yeah.
It's struggling, and it's directly related.
Yeah.
Well, that's the main thing. And some of the less developed countries, they basically use the rivers as their, trash dump.
Exactly.
It's just I think there's a couple rivers coming out of China that are responsible for half the ocean plastic in the world.
Yeah.
And even when you think it's pristine, like Australia, because you'd be struggling to find some trash floating around in Australia, but Ningaloo Reef on the northwest corner of Australia, they've just had their worst coral bleaching in its history.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Ningaloo Reef's worst coral bleaching in history, it's the worst coral bleaching that's ever happened to any reef anywhere in the world ever.
Wow.
Full stop. To the point where all the metrics of how bad something can bleach, we had to redraw new graphs to fit it on because it was off the charts.
And South Australia just had an algae bloom that is unprecedented.
Yeah.
And it's what does that mean? I think everybody's heard of coral bleaching by now, but an algae bloom just spread across the ocean and it sucked all the oxygen out of it. And you've got sharks and dolphins and every fish just floating to the surface. I'm a big lover of sea dragons, and entire colonies of sea dragons have been just eradicated.
What's a sea dragon? I'm not sure.
It's a beautiful cousin of a seahorse that's about yay long,
cool.
And they're only found in the southern half of Australia.
Okay.
They look like something out of a Dr. Seuss novel.
Okay.
So.
Right.
But that's doom and gloom. I want to make this clear that there's a lot of doom and gloom out there, and yes, the ocean's struggling, but I really like to focus in on these same areas. Raja Ampat, we had a absolutely out-of-body experience with a pelagic manta ray was so. We don't just talk about the bad. There's so much down there to be inspired by and to want to protect.
Right.
And I think that's key is that if we painted the picture for you that it's already too late and there's nothing we can do, then you feel a bit defeated.
Yeah.
But if I can show you a cool little nudibranch and inspire the younger generation to want to have an ocean positive mindset, then I hope it does make a change on a global level.
Well, thanks for inspiring people. That's great. You guys check them out. You can be inspired to help make a change too. So back to the boats there. How did you end up with two 20 some odd meter catch rig whatever?
It's a great question. We've been working on a project in Southwest Australia for a couple years, and for anybody that knows us, probably knows that we're not very consistent on YouTube anymore, and there's a big reason for that, and that will come out. We've been working on a massive documentary series in Australia that required a second vessel.
Okay.
And that's directors and lighting guys. So we fell into YouTube. Well, I'll always be a part of it. We do behind the scenes and everything else in between, but we needed the room there's a shark cage on board now.
Really?
Yeah, it's a pretty intensive operation.
Yeah.
And it was obvious to us, we could go rent another boat, or we could buy one of our own, right?
Sure.
And we like the theme, I think we're also known as big 75-foot heavy expedition boats, and so to keep in theme, we've almost made them look identical. They look like big floating pirate ships with a massive crew of.
I can just imagine you guys sailing in a bay with like half a dozen other boats, and everybody in that bay is like, "What the heck is
Oh,
this?"
yeah.
There was one crazy time we pulled into one bay, and so we're pulling in as 24 people.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 other boats in the bay, which is like no big deal. And we pull in only to discover that those 3 boats are.
Sorry, that's fine. Yeah. Sorry, guys. We're in the middle of an actual live boat show, so we apologize for the noise.
Yeah, so we pull in to discover that those 3 boats are also traveling together.
Okay.
And they have 24
Wow.
young Danish crew.
Oh wow, that sounds
and
like
so
a party.
the anchorage went from being us to 48 people.
Yeah.
All traveling sort of the same direction. It was really awesome.
That's
Because we weren't used to seeing so many people around
Yeah.
Asia, you know?
Yeah.
So when that happens, that's really fun.
Yeah, we're definitely, we're not going undercover. Whenever we pull in anywhere, everyone knows we're there. Well,
We stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, 24 people will take over a bar real quick.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Well, is there any? You said you're working on. Is there any current projects or anything you want to promote right now?
What do you think, Ames?
No, for now, check out our social media, our YouTube, our
Yeah.
Instagram. That's where we're posting
Yeah.
our updates of where we
Sure.
are at the moment, and that's where we'll post anytime we're looking for more crew, anytime we're going to a new cool spot, and everything that's going to come out about the documentary soon. So
Cool. All right, well, guys, it's been a pleasure getting to know you guys, finally meet you guys
Yeah.
after so long. And so check them out. I'll have all the links down below or in the video description, or if you're doing this on audio, I'll have the links in the description. And follow these guys, check them out. It's a pretty fascinating series he's doing.
Awesome.
All right,
Thanks so
thanks,
much,
guys.
Bobby.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
All right.